happened
Yeah.
6 days ago, was it?
Yep. All right, ladies
if
and
you
germs, this is episode 3 of Survival Training. As you can see, we have a new member of the group. Connor, he's been a long time member of the group, first time on the show. Connor, how are you doing, bud?
I'm good, guys. It's nice to be here. How you guys doing?
I'm okay. And as usual, you have everyone's favorite Brit, Trendall, and you have Alex, the wannabe pilot. That is not his plane, by the way. Okay, so let's just jump right into what we have to discuss. There's a ton of shit that we need to speak about. So the first thing that we're going to discuss is the Armor 2 Battle Eye. And the bans obviously don't carry over to the standalone. But Armor 3 bans do. Let's go for the round table. We'll go Kamak, Trendall, and then Connor. Your thoughts on all of this?
That's good. The introduction of Battle Eyes banning some people. Can't usually use all the hacks, but still people are getting through.
James?
Yeah. Because they're both Steamwork titles, they're going to share Battle Eye bans, which is good. You know, it's going to slow people down from annihilating DayZ with the hacks. They are still filtering through, though. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm sure using VAC and Battle Eye at the same time is going to squash them pretty quick.
I'm kind of glad that Battle Eye was finally implemented because VAC, I like VAC. VAC's a good program to use, especially because with all the Steam games that you have. But Battle Eye for like games like DayZ and Arma 3 and Arma 2 just seems to work better with it. I don't know why. That's my personal experience from it. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like it's a different game. So like, even Armor 3, I don't know why Armor 3 bans carry over, especially because I think not only is it an entirely different game, I feel like those two games play very differently. I'd have to find out from a dev in person, but so when I played Breaking Point on Armor 3 and when I played DayZ, it feels different, right? Like from the movements, even obviously some of the animations. Therefore, if it's not using the same sort of programming, I don't know why. That's the weirdest thing for me is I don't know why they seem to have a symbiotic relationship, considering the fact that they're totally different, even just because they're from the same company. I don't think that should apply, but it's just my opinion.
I got a feeling it's more to do with Steam than anything else because they're both Steamwork titles.
Okay.
They're gonna, Steam might have stepped in there and said, we're gonna carry these bans over regardless of what Bohemia Interactive say.
Okay, so let's talk about another issue that we are having: blood kits being duped. Alex.
Oh yeah, the when you dupe a blood test kit, you can same way with the handcuffs. You can, as long as you're far away, you can snipe with it, not actually kill it, but you can initiate a blood test kit from an unlimited distance.
For users that were not or have not watched episode 2, quickly go over the sniping with the.
Oh yeah.
With the handcuffs.
When you have a pair of
Yep.
handcuffs, you can, as long as you have a line of sight, you can do the initial handcuffing, but it'll fail, and when it fails, it'll place a pristine handcuffs right next to your side, and thus it also drops your weapon if they're carrying
It disarms the enemy, which is I think the craziest thing I've ever heard.
and drops a weapon if they're carrying two. Not only like that, so
Yeah, and it's been tested. They've extensively tested this.
Yeah, we've done quite a bit of testing in DayZ at the moment. We've found quite a few things.
I just remember that one time playing with James here, and we were in the forest, and there's this guy coming up, and I didn't have my gun out. He didn't have his gun out, but I had handcuffs out, and I just kept disarming him until James got his gun out. But he eventually disconnected because, obviously, if your gun's not coming out, you're not going to stick around for too long. But it is a big glitch, and it needs to be fixed very soon.
That's pretty crazy. I still can't believe that's even an issue, and it's been a whole week and it's still a mess. Hopefully, though, this show brings to light some of the things that obviously need to be changed. Now, I should have prefaced all of this. So for those of you that have not watched episode 1 or episode 2, we're all big fans of DayZ. We love DayZ. We're not being critical of Bohemia, Dean Hall, the production team, the development team, any of them. We're just bringing to light some of the issues and changes that we've seen from the alpha in its current state, so that obviously with more awareness, hopefully some of these things can be changed sooner rather than later, because it's affecting the current gameplay as it is right now. Okay, so let's talk about the changelog that came out January 5th. Balancing of player spawns is still ongoing. Dead player cleanup, time-based. The bayonet now can open cans. The battle eye anti-cheat, obviously the initial implementation of sub-private hives for hardcore and regular. Also, they fixed dedicated servers from crashing. Rubber banding is still ongoing. This is still a big issue, right? I believe I was speaking to Connor yesterday, and you were telling me that it's gotten even worse.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what it is. Like a lot of people have been saying that if you press spacebar and you run with your hands up, that it causes you to rubber band, but that's not the case at all. I've been doing just running straight, nothing with my hands up, and I'd still rubber band, and it seems to be getting farther. Like initially, you'd only rubber band 250 meters, 750 meters. But now it seems to be going to like 1 kilometer, 1.5 kilometers, and it's more of a pain, really.
Yeah, I know that's been my biggest issue with it, is quite simply every few feet you just end up rubber banding for like every 5 minutes you rubber band 8 minutes behind, and you're like, whoa, what is this? I didn't even spawn this far. I spawned up like a mile ahead, and the game doesn't really care. That thing pisses me off, not gonna lie.
I have been doing some testing with that, and I have found if you join a relatively low population server, right, up to 6 players with low ping, you will not get rubber banded. So if you are having troubles being rubber banded to meet up with your friends, join a low pop server with the best ping possible, run to where you need, and then hop onto the server with your friends. And it seems to counteract the rubber banding, because when you join your friends again, you don't seem to rubber band ever again until you die, obviously, and then you got to start the running process all over again.
So interestingly, you remember when we spoke? I believe it was episode 1 when you and Alex were talking about. You remember how they stopped players from when you disconnect the body. Now stood there, right? So you were able to loot the bodies of the people you killed. And we said, I wonder what kind of effect it will have on the server or the game if they stay for the whole server time. Like, I wonder what kind of stress all those additional bodies now put on the server. Do we... Now, this is obviously... I mean, I guess if you want to call it a conspiracy theory, but do we think that that's part of the issue? I mean, I think that has to be it, right? Because an unintended consequence of fixing that seems to be that all the server stress is causing us to rubber band. Because this issue didn't... I mean, did any of you have this issue before that patch?
No.
I believe it was December 27th, right?
Yeah, it was quite a while ago. No, I never had a problem with rubber banding until they stopped dead players from despawning.
I think you're right, Hector, when you say that when you were talking about, the more... Sorry, I've lost my train of thought. Completely lost it. Sorry.
No, it's fine, but I really think that has to be the issue, because ever since they changed that, we've had these issues with the stress on the servers, and I really wish I had more of a programming background to be able to elaborate on it, but I'm only trying to put the pieces together. I feel like, especially me, I've only had this rubber banding issue since they fixed the dead body issue, and I think that is kind of like, so one of them makes the game unplayable while the other one just made the game more annoying to play. I'd rather go back to having dead bodies despawn on you than having to deal with this, because I feel like this is way worse.
Well, saying that, if you go and take a look at Wasteland mod for Arma 2, they had a cleanup script that ran every, say, 5 to 10 minutes. And every single dead body on the map, every broken car, broken weapons, etc., would all be wiped from the database and refreshed. So all broken vehicles would be obviously respawned every 5-10 minutes, and the dead bodies would just be gone completely. Now, some of those Wasteland servers could be running for 72 hours or more before having to be restarted. I think Rocket and the dev team need to have a look or go and speak to some of those guys for the creators of Wasteland, and just to try it, see if that helps fix things. If not, they can always go back to square one and figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know. That shit fucking sucks. You can't even play. It gets so annoying. Server hopping and loot farming fix is close to being done because of the queuing system. So let's have a brief discussion on that. Like, are we seeing more people server hop to gain loot and then just I guess start farming people?
Yeah, it's pretty bad in the main cities. The server hopping, killing, stuff like that, looting. The queuing system's going to take care of all that, but until then, it's just going to be an ongoing issue.
Yeah, it is getting worse, especially ghosting as well. That is really annoying. Regardless of what happens, it's the worst thing in game right now. I am hoping, or I'm sort of guessing, the queuing system's going to be more of a timer. So you can go one server, jump to a second one, but when you try to join a third server, it will give you, say, a 5-minute warning or 5-minute timeout before you can join. That's not going to stop ghosting, but it's going to make it increasingly difficult.
I'd like to see a timer for a queuing system when you try to log out, like they had in the
yes, where your body sits down. Yeah,
because the combat logging is really bad, and that would also stop the ghosting because if you add the queuing system as well, you won't get somebody won't spawn directly behind you and be able to sneak up on you that easily.
Yeah, that's always tough. Because to play the devil's advocate, the catch-22 there is, so what if you're logging off in the middle of the woods and somebody just happens to be there, and while you're, I guess, disconnecting, they shoot you? That also really sucks too.
That really sucks, but how many times have we tried to, instead of killing on sight, which is like the regular mentality in DayZ right now, we tried to capture and just give them a chance, and they just log out because there's nothing.
That's true.
There's no point. There's no reason for them not to, right?
Yeah.
So you can go to both extremes, but
yeah, no,
I
that's
think at
true.
the end of the day,
I agree with you.
Something there.
Absolutely. I think going back to where you sit down on other games have this. I believe Rust does, right? I know Armor Breaking Point does. Well, you just can't log off. Your character has to sit there and chill for a little bit, and then.
Oh, Rust, you never leave the server.
Yeah, Rust is consistent. You will just fall down and go to sleep.
So how often do you guys die when you log back in on Rust?
Every
It
time.
depends. Yeah,
Wow.
it's a lot. It's pretty frequent.
Life's hard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I wonder if they could implement this. If they had a logout timer. So you hit escape, exit the server, and you have a countdown on screen. Now, if a zombie or a player comes within a certain radius of you, that timer is completely stopped off your screen and you're thrown back into game. That would help.
Really
that would help counter, logging out and some guy just randomly walks near you, because you'd have a little bit of a warning. Instead of someone just coming up, pointing a gun at you, and then shit sucks.
That's crazy. So, deleting PBOs. We've been warning people since episode 1. Let's have a discussion about that one, Alex.
I mean, it is spreading like wildfire, especially with the whole bug tracker thing. But
I blame Trendall. I blame him.
Hey, it took me.
Blame him over the holiday season, singing to people.
Yeah, it
took him
5 to 10 minutes to find a way to get around that. It's seriously easy. There's a couple of ways to do it at the moment, and there's a few ways I've thought to be able to stop that from happening, but it's going to be hard.
Well, okay. First, how did you get around? Let's talk about the admin thing that you were saying. How you helped an admin fix it, and now you can go around it.
Well, the admins.
Or was that two different conversations we had?
It's two different ones.
Oh, my bad.
That's all right. Admins, they can stop people joining their servers without the PBO files loaded, as long as they set in their server config file to make sure they have to have the PBOs in there.
Yeah.
Now, that could also present a problem with the latest patch, because at the moment, you're putting the files back into the game, but your game's not actually loading them. So, I'm not sure how it's working yet. I'll have to jump back on and speak to the server admin I spoke to last time and see if I can test it with him. But that will be in the next episode.
Okay. But still, the PBO issue, you guys are noticing it more and more?
Oh,
yeah. People are using the DayZ bug tracker website for glitches and exploits as well, which is ridiculously stupid right now.
What's weird is every time you would join a server and battle, I would kick you for corrupt data, like hashtag 10 or 11. We would just know, like, he's deleted his PBOs, because that's what happens. Like, you have to load into a server and then put the files back in, and then you're good to go. But so now every time we see someone with that corrupt data things, we kind of just get out of the server because we don't want to be killed, half kilometer away when we're sitting in a house by a guy who's deleted his PBOs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say, but like, I hate that shit. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm a different type of person, so if I'm doing anything competitively, why am I gonna cheat? There's that, like, kind of, right? That's like that's being hypocritical. How do you say you like competition, but then again you try to subvert competition by cheating to win? Like, I've never understood that. I don't understand why people find enjoyment in playing DayZ when all they're really doing is hiding inside of a building, shooting people that can't kill. It's just, I don't know. I just think that's really stupid. But what's even worse is, as we've been discussing since episode 1, this game's supposed to be server side. All this shit's supposed to be server side, and it's not. It's client side. So I don't know what the hell. What did we have to wait a year for?
I don't know.
If all they did was just a carbon copy of the Arma 2 files, and none of it's really server side because we've been testing it and proving it for 3 episodes now. I don't understand why this shit is so difficult. Like,
saying that, I did confirm zombies were server side.
Yes.
Obviously the file to actually see them isn't, but the damage is.
Yeah.
So why aren't the buildings also server side? What if I delete the buildings? The server should say, I cannot physically walk here, there's a wall. So it should stop me from going through buildings. It should stop bullets from shooting through buildings. That should be server side. Yeah, you could even remove them. Yeah, you can see people, but you physically can't harm them or walk through the wall to get to them.
Yeah,
I just don't understand why that whole list is, client side. What I gotta, like, all you did for a year, is like, make the game look better. Like, it does look a lot better from the Arma 2 thing.
Absolutely.
Because Arma 2 is like a really old game.
Agreed.
But, this whole thing, that's kind of game breaking, because it just makes cheating a lot easier,
Absolutely. But I don't understand. We waited a whole year for all of this stuff, for all the assets to be server side. That's what they said. The network bubble is going to make all this shit server side. And in fact, it's the total opposite. I don't understand what we waited a year for.
Nor do I. Also, they've taken Arma 2 files and Arma 3 files, because if you look through the Arma 3 PBO list, you'll see there's improvised explosives, improvised backpacks.
Yeah.
That's in DayZ standalone now. So they're literally just taking both games, copying the files, and then just dragging them into their own personal launcher.
Because back to what you said, Connor, the look is actually Arma 3.
Yeah, it really is.
It's Arma 3.
Yeah. Obviously, the players move differently, but
inventory.
Yeah.
The players move differently, but it looks the
exact because they do have the custom animations. Because remember, we saw Rocket with the. I mean, but still, it's pretty evident that all of the stuff we've tested is client side, not server side.
A guy posted on Reddit that like he was looking through all the buy signs and the PBO
Yeah.
files, and you could see everything that they were going to implement in the future. So he saw the cars, all the different guns, like the SKS was already there. Like, you know, the car, like Trendall has been a big advocate that the car is already there. He's always been talking about that, but everything's there. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
really
that
good.
guy's like the Cyborg Matt. I don't know if anybody is a Dota 2 fan in our chat, but he's the Cyborg Matt of DayZ. Like, I'm seeing it. He has like the texture files and all that stuff here too.
Yeah. Oh, also, I found a big problem. Scripters or hackers, whatever people wish to call them,
Yeah.
they can spawn SUVs now. I don't understand how or what's going on, but
Whoa.
the other day I was running as a fresh spawn, and all of a sudden there's this black SUV pulled up alongside me, blaring dubsteps through the window. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh,
It was kind of
boy.
scary, but it was kind of fun at the same time.
Wow. That's very
I'm just
depressing.
thinking, if scripters or hackers are spawning in SUVs,
Could he
and
drive?
stuff,
Could he move, or was it immobile?
No, he was driving it. I do believe there's some that you can get in, but you can't drive them. But I'm just wondering, if you look through the PBO list that I've got up right now,
Yeah.
you've got the M203 grenade. Yeah, I'm guessing that's going to be the grenade launcher and stuff. I wonder if they're going to be spawning them in next and just annihilating service.
Yeah, the
That's
weapons.
Gonna be
Yeah.
horrible.
Even like helicopters and planes and stuff. Like that would be even worse because
Yeah.
crash. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's tough. Also, see if you can get. This is gonna be kind of weird to do this during a show, but James, see if you can get in hold of the guy that is like the Cyborg Matt of DayZ. Let's see if we can have him on a show at some point, because like
Sure.
this stuff is really cool. So for all the vehicles, you can have a bus, a hatchback, a sedan, 3 quote unquote civil cars, a flag. I have no idea what the fuck that is. Helix. I don't know what those are either. Now you have the
That's the, 4x4 truck.
HMMWV. I'm sorry, Trendall.
The Hilux is the like 4x4
Actually,
outback truck sort of thing.
I'll tell you what, guys. You're gonna think I'm pretty cool. Right here. Right here, guys. So Land Rovers, tractors, all sorts of stuff. I think this is gonna be pretty cool. He has this up. We'll try to get this guy on the show at some point, 'cause this is pretty awesome. Look at the texture files. You can see him here. All that stuff we were discussing. That's pretty crazy though, Trendall, that he spawned that shit right in front of you. That's unreal. Holy crap.
It was really scary at the time. I was like, what the hell's just happened? Our vehicle's in the game now. Speaking to him for a few minutes and sort of got an idea of what he was doing.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. I mean, the good thing is he didn't kill you, but
Yeah,
I mean, it also, how'd the card look? Did it look complete? Like it looked just like an Armor 3 car, right? From
it was exactly
Armor
the
3
same
life?
as Armor 2 and Armor 3, black Humvees. Not Humvees, sorry, SUVs. Although I am kind of worried about the HMMWV50. I'm wondering if that's the 50 cal Humvee that's available in Armor 2 and 3 at the moment.
Yeah, stuff is pretty cool. So let's discuss the new dev blog, the 3 weeks on the road. Anybody have any opinions on what was on there, or?
Alex, you take this one?
I mean, not really much opinions. Just the all that new stuff that's being added. It's kind of hopeful, but again, when is it actually going to be implemented? Is my concern.
Well, I think obviously the server performance has to be first, right? Like goes back to what I was saying before. I would rather have the old loot shit where you kill somebody and their body despawns in 2 seconds than this fucking crap that's going on now where you rubber band 15 times during a 5-minute gameplay. I mean, I think that's sort of ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I think that needs to be reverted somehow or fixed. Obviously, before anything, the hunting and cooking and all that stuff is cool. I would rather see the game be fleshed out and be ironed out before we start adding all this sort of crazy shit. Because I don't really think we need hunting yet, or like gathering and stuff, right? Like that's later down the road for the progression of your DayZ character or group or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's a beta. I think that's like when the game's out, that's what should be. You know.
I think the two most important, or not important actually, the two things I found the coolest about the 3 weeks on the road was the personal hand gestures you'll be able to make, like the peace sign or like an O or a 1. I think that'd be really cool. And now that they're the confirmation that they're going to support the user mods, and there's going to be more flexibility for user hosted servers and game types and things. So Alex is a big fan of like a Jurassic Park mod for DayZ, something like that. I think that'd be really cool.
What? That's
That'd
so
be really
weird.
cool to see.
I want Battle Royale, if anything. Everything else sucks. Epoch was alright, but Battle Royale I think is the best mod out there, even though you can't fucking play it.
The player-made bases, but Battle Royale is pretty cool.
The fact that you could have your own, something to call your own, and come back to like your progression.
Yeah.
That's what brings people back.
Well, I'm looking forward to the underground bases he was talking about way back in December of like when he was saying that the game was supposed to be out December, what was it, 2012? He was talking about a cool idea would be player bases, like underground bases. I think that'll be actually
cool.
Amazing. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's similar to was it Namolsk for the DayZ mod? Yeah, the underground tunnels. Yeah.
Okay, so Battle Eye being updated now stops players from deleting PBOs and joining servers. Is that confirmed? Is that like a legit?
No.
No.
I put that in the wrong section. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, Battle Eye did an update, and it did stop people from joining servers with the PBO files deleted. But now there is a way around that, which a lot of people have found, especially using the DayZ bug tracker website. Which,
okay, so
to be
let's
honest, really
let's
needs
go
to
over
be
how to do
private.
it. Yeah, that's true. But let's talk about how to get around it, so our viewers can.
Basically, you remove the PBO files, launch the client. The client then loads all the files, obviously except the ones that you've deleted. When you go and join a server, BattleEye then scans your add-ons folder. If it finds PBOs missing, it will just kick you for corrupted data. For example, removing grass is corrupt data number 10. Removing anything else is data number 11. Now, if you're at the server list and you put your files back into the add-on folders, BattleEye reads it and goes, "Oh, all your PBOs are there. Here, join the server." And it's just a pain in the ass now. I posted it on the DayZ bug tracker website, and because the steps to reproduce are public, like anyone can click on it and view it, everyone's just gone and seen it, and now everyone's doing it.
I'm telling you, it's you. It's your fault. Dean Hall's gonna have a conversation with you. Fucking up DayZ.
I'm just waiting for my VAC and BattleEye ban.
Yeah.
So I mean, that fucking sucks. But so how do you fix it, right? So if the DayZ, if people are looking to go to the forums, and they're going for like the bug tracker stuff, and they just use that in order to cheat. I mean, how do we fix that? Like, I don't know how.
It's really simple. Is you post your title of what's going on. So, for example, I put, I posted out there. Sorry, lost it. All right, the title was still being able to delete PBO files after BattleEye update.
Yes.
Then that should be public, so everyone can see, someone's already posted something along those lines. The steps to reproduce should be for devs' eyes only. So I'll post 100% A to Z on how to replicate this exploit or glitch, whatever people wish to call it. That should be private completely, unless the developers need more feedback. Then they can open it up, and then people can add notes to it. At the moment, anyone and everyone can just read it,
Yeah, but see, that's sort of hard because, like, I can tell you right now why that isn't going to happen, because that means the devs actually have to look at the forums and website and all that bullshit, which they probably spend their time sifting through. When a post gets like X amount of viewers, that's when they pay attention to it.
Yeah, true.
So they're going to have to hire staff specifically for that sort of shit.
Very true.
They should have the money after all these copies, but I mean,
What is it, like 24 million copies in
yeah, but let's be serious.
little
Like,
under a month?
the excuse would be they have to hire more staff in order to do so, because the people already there probably think they're above that shit and don't want to do it in the first place. I know how it is. I mean, I get it. Like, I see that stuff every day. Sometimes even, yeah. So,
well, with the game being alpha,
uh-huh.
and the developers are meant to be working on it, surely that's their job. You know, they must have to look at these problems to get them fixed. Otherwise, they're just going to wander around on their own, doing their own thing, and going, "Oh,
Well, that's
found
true.
myself a bug. Let's go fix it." Instead of hundreds of thousands of people out there saying, "We've all found hundreds of bugs. What are you going to do about it?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. All right, so let's talk about some other shit that we've seen, which is if you're shooting the tip of the gun to instant death, which I think is rather hilarious.
Like, just doesn't even matter where it is on the gun. Tip of the gun, shoot him dead. No matter, nothing, no unconscious, no damage, just one shot dead.
You guys tested this when?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So the other day happened by accident. Drew was it Trendall shot Drew, and then I shot Trendall, just try and test it out, duplicate it, and it works. So
Yeah, it's a nasty glitch. Just messing around, thinking I'm going to break your scope on your Mosin, and it's just instant death.
Oh, man. Wow. That's pretty weird. Why do we think so? I guess the game reads it as your weapon is an extension of your body, not an individual thing that can be damaged.
right, and not only that, I think it's same headshot deal. So if you manage to hit the tip of their gun while they're hidden on the cover, it's a kill.
Huh. Wow. That's pretty lame.
Yeah, it is.
Man. I don't know. All in all, what's been your experience, at least for the last week? I mean, has it still been enjoyable, or is it getting to be more of a pain in the ass, I think, now with all this stuff that's going around?
It's still really enjoyable, but there's moments where we'd all be geared up and we'd be like, well, what do we do now? And for most people, what that means is go to Kami Shover, Solnichi, and Electro and kill fresh spawns, right? So I think before they start implementing vehicles and stuff like that, there needs to be some kind of objective. I don't know how they would do this, but for now, the only objective is getting geared up and KOSing everyone you see.
Yeah, but that's been an issue since DayZ's release, because now people have become sort of saturated by DayZ, right? So they've seen the experience, they felt the experience, they're never going to feel that way again about the game. So the next thing, naturally, is to go back to what we were doing in Arma 2 towards the end, which is just killing people.
Yep.
And it's still going on now. I don't really know how they're going to fix that, at least until the game comes out and they implement more shit. I just would like to see it not be so ridiculous with everyone spawning in the same spot, so you can just camp the same. Just go to Electro, camp the East Coast, or if you're on Electro, just always look towards the port side and you just find people.
Yeah, with the new server, with the new update, you only spawn in that East Coast. There's only 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 cities you can spawn in. That really narrows it down for all the people who want to kill on site.
Yeah, and there's no incentive at this point to go to Northwest Airfield or even venture north. Maybe Northeast, but I'm confident that very few people make that trek to the Northwest, because then they have to make the trek back, because you're not going to see anybody, because there are no Kamenka spawns. And there's nobody going to be in not Electro, Zelenogorsk.
there's no point. Like
There is none.
the gear is spread out, a lot on the coasts. You can just go to Bolota or even Electro or Cherno, and you can get an M4 or a Mosin.
Yeah.
The Northwest really isn't worth it, like for the 2 barracks that are there.
Yeah. No, I agree.
The only thing I have found recently is Alex found me a press vest up at the new ship by Berezino.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that, to be honest, is the only reason why I would venture north, is to find a new press vest. And apart from that, I'm not too sure. So some exploration is good. That new town above the northeast airfield, that's pretty cool to go to and have a look around. But there's really nothing there. It's just purely for looks. And
have we seen the V-Mask yet? Is the V-Mask in the game yet?
Have not seen it. Nor
the V for Vendetta?
Yeah, nothing.
Well, game's hard. What are you going to do?
Yep.
All right, so let's go around the table. Biggest fix that you're looking to see adjusted in the upcoming patch?
Rubber banding. Just fix that for sure, all the way. That's my thing.
James?
Yeah, I completely agree. Rubber banding, that's a huge problem at the moment. But then again, deleting your PBOs really needs to get fixed as soon as possible. That's going to cause a lot of people to drop out as well.
I think it's the rubber banding, the PBOs, and, because they want us to spawn in these cities now, like Berezino and Electro.
Yeah.
There's not much optimization really in the big cities. Like, I'm running like a pretty beastly rig, and I'm still dropping to below 20 frames.
Tell everybody your specs, by the way, just so that other people can compare.
i7 4770K, 8 gigabytes of DDR3 memory, a GTX 780, and an SSD. I shouldn't be dropping below 20, below 30 frames.
I agree.
Really.
I agree, 100%.
And when I try and post videos to YouTube, I can't because it just looks so choppy, and that's really where most of the action is, because all the geared guys go down there to kill fresh spawns. So
overclocking is your friend.
Yeah,
I'm at 4.2. It's DayZ and all the armor games don't recognize anything higher than that. So
I must admit, I've got a Phenom 2 quad-core processor and HD 7770 graphics card, and I get the same amount of frames as you, Connor.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Maybe it's a server side issue, not being optimized enough, or maybe it's just the client side for some reason. But it should be fixed, because I can't deal with a lot of people can't deal with those kind of low frames in big cities.
I know this doesn't help in big cities, but I really urge Rocket to make removing grass a legitimate in-game option, because there's people out there running laptops, or even myself. I'd be running 20 frames out in the open, in the wilderness somewhere. Removing grass doubles that, plus more. It doesn't help in big cities, but it just makes the game a whole lot better. You can have everything on full out in the wilderness, and it looks so nice.
But then you need to figure out a new system. We spoke about this, I think, last week.
Yeah.
For people that are sniping or prone or using it as foliage and cover, because that's a problem.
I was thinking that they could change render distance for different actions. So if you're prone, and I've removed my grass, for example, render distance for you is at say 200 meters. Anything past that, you're invisible. Then if you're crouched, 600 meters, anything past that, you're invisible. And then obviously if you stood up, you get the full 1,600 meter render distance. That's the only way I can really think about making it equal.
But even then, I could, alt and look to my right or left and still see a big blob in the middle of a grassy field. And I feel like, if he was in that 200 meters of me, I wouldn't see him, and I, get shot at.
Well, it's just an idea. So obviously they'd have to test it. So they'd have to have someone prone in the grass and then walk towards him and go, right, now I can see you. This is X amount of distance, and work it out from there. But, that's not my job to do. I let Rocket deal with that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Alex, where can people find you?
Twitch.tv/Kamak86. Check it out.
James.
Yeah, twitch.tv/James Trendall. Yeah, come check us out. We'll be streaming later on.
And
And
for me,
Connor.
youtube.com/user/I am above average. We'll be posting up some DayZ videos in the near future.
All right, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully, we have better news next week. Dean Hall, please fix. The rubber banding issue is a problem, and the PBO file shit is not cool. So, you have some work to do, young man. All right, everybody. I'd like to thank all of the viewers on Twitch for watching and everyone else who supported. So, take care, everyone. Have a good one.